Right now, as you watch this video, the most powerful naval force on Earth is cutting through Middle Eastern waters at full speed. The USS Nimitz, a floating fortress carrying 5,000 sailors and 90 aircraft, just canceled its port visit to Vietnam and raced 4,000 miles across the Pacific in record time. But here's what Iran didn't see coming. It's not alone. The USS Vinson is already positioned in the Arabian Sea, and the USS Gerald Ford, America's most advanced carrier, just departed Norfolk, Virginia, heading straight for the Mediterranean. 3 nuclear-powered carriers, carrying more firepower than most nations possess, now form an iron triangle around Iran. On June 13, 2025, when Israel struck Iranian nuclear facilities at 3:30 a.m., everything changed. Iran fired over 550 ballistic missiles in retaliation. But what happened next sent shockwaves through Tehran's military command. The United States didn't just deploy ships, they unleashed what military experts are calling the largest naval buildup in the Middle East since Operation Desert Storm. Over 30 aerial refueling tankers crossed the Atlantic in a single night. F-22 Raptors departed Langley Air Force Base. B-2 stealth bombers moved to Diego Garcia. And Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth made one phone call that changed everything. June 13, 2025 will be remembered as the day the Middle East balance of power shifted forever. At exactly 3:30 a.m. local time, Israeli F-35 Lightning jets appeared over Iranian airspace like ghosts in the night. Their target? Iran's most secret nuclear facilities, buried deep underground in reinforced mountain complexes that took decades to build. The operation, codenamed Rising Lion, wasn't just another airstrike. Israeli commandos and Mossad operatives had been positioning precision weapons inside Iran for months. They established a covert drone base near Tehran. They infiltrated Iran's air defense networks. In the first wave alone, over 200 Israeli fighter jets dropped 330 precision-guided bombs on 100 separate targets. But the real shock came with the casualty reports. 30 Iranian generals killed in the opening minutes, 9 nuclear scientists eliminated. Iran's top military leadership, men who had spent decades building the regime's power, were gone before sunrise. The Natanz nuclear facility, Iran's crown jewel of uranium enrichment, suffered massive damage. The Fordow facility, buried 200 feet underground in solid rock, was penetrated by Israeli bunker buster bombs. If you're amazed by the precision and power of our military forces, type yes in the comments below. Iran's response was swift, but revealed their desperation. Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei ordered immediate retaliation. But here's what changed the game completely. The moment Iranian missiles began flying toward Israeli cities, President Donald Trump made a decision that stunned military analysts worldwide. Within hours of the Iranian counterattack, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth received direct orders from the White House. The message was clear: demonstrate American power like never before. What followed was a military mobilization so massive and coordinated that even seasoned Pentagon officials called it unprecedented. The USS Nimitz, which had been conducting routine operations in the South China Sea, received emergency orders at 0400 hours on June 16th. Captain Sarah Morrison, the ship's commanding officer, later described the moment. "We went from peaceful patrol to combat deployment in less than 4 hours. I've never seen anything like it in my 20-year career." The Nimitz battle group, 5 guided missile destroyers, 1 nuclear submarine, and over 5,000 personnel, immediately changed course. Their planned port call in Da Nang, Vietnam was canceled. The Vietnamese reception ceremony, scheduled for June 20th, was scrapped due to what officials called emergent operational requirements. But the Nimitz wasn't moving alone. The USS Vinson, already positioned in the Arabian Sea since March, began coordinating with incoming forces. Together, these 2 carriers carry 180 of America's most advanced fighter jets, FA-18 Super Hornets, F-35C Lightning IIs, and EA-18G Growler electronic warfare aircraft. While the Pacific carriers raced toward the Middle East, something extraordinary was happening over the Atlantic Ocean. Flight tracking data revealed an unprecedented surge of American military aircraft heading east. Over 30 KC-135 Stratotankers and KC-46 Pegasus refueling aircraft departed bases across the United States in a coordinated wave. These weren't routine deployments. Military aviation experts noted that such a massive tanker movement hadn't been seen since the 2003 invasion of Iraq. The aircraft landed at strategic bases across Europe: Ramstein Air Base in Germany, Moran Air Base in Spain, Aviano Air Base in Italy, and Souda Bay in Greece. What makes aerial refueling tankers so critical? They're the lifeline that allows American fighters and bombers to operate thousands of miles from home. Without them, F-22 Raptors can't reach Iran from European bases. B-2 stealth bombers can't conduct long-range strikes. The deployment of 30 tankers meant America was preparing for sustained long-range operations. Then came the fighters. F-22 Raptors, America's most advanced air superiority fighters, departed Langley Air Force Base in Virginia. These aircraft, which cost $150 million each, can engage multiple targets simultaneously while remaining invisible to enemy radar. Their deployment to the Middle East sent a clear message. American airspace was now protected by the world's most lethal interceptors. As the Nimitz raced across the Pacific and the Carl Vinson maintained position in the Arabian Sea, the third piece of America's naval triad was preparing to deploy. The USS Gerald Ford, commissioned in 2017 as the most technologically advanced aircraft carrier ever built, departed Naval Station Norfolk on June 24th. The Gerald Ford represents the future of naval warfare. Its electromagnetic aircraft launch system can launch 33% more sorties than older carriers. Its advanced arresting gear can recover aircraft in rougher seas. Its dual-band radar can track hundreds of targets simultaneously. Most importantly, its nuclear reactors generate 3 times more electrical power than previous carriers, enabling directed energy weapons and advanced electronic warfare systems. Rear Admiral Paul Lanzalotta, commanding the Ford Strike Group, addressed reporters before departure. "We're mobile and maneuverable. Within one day, we can move this entire strike group 700 miles in any direction." The Ford's destination? The Mediterranean Sea, positioning it within striking distance of Iranian territory while remaining protected by NATO allies. As American forces converged on the Middle East, Iran found itself in an impossible position. Intelligence reports indicated that Iranian military commanders were struggling to assess the damage from Israeli strikes while preparing for potential American intervention. The numbers were staggering. Israel had destroyed 120 surface-to-surface missile launchers in the opening strikes. Iran's uranium conversion facility at Isfahan suffered extensive damage. The Natanz enrichment plant, where Iran produced its highest-grade uranium, was partially destroyed. Most critically, Israeli forces had eliminated key personnel who couldn't be easily replaced. Iran's retaliation revealed their limitations. Despite launching over 550 ballistic missiles and 1,000 suicide drones at Israeli targets, the damage was minimal. Israel's Iron Dome and David Sling defense systems, supported by American technology, intercepted the vast majority of incoming threats. Only 24 Israelis were killed, compared to over 300 Iranian casualties. But Iran's real concern wasn't the current exchange. It was what America might do next. Intelligence sources reported emergency meetings in Tehran as Iranian leaders realized they faced not just Israel, but potentially the full might of the American military machine. While carriers grabbed headlines, America's most lethal capability was moving quietly in the shadows. B-2 Spirit stealth bombers, based at Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri, began deploying to Diego Garcia, a joint American-British base in the Indian Ocean. The B-2 represents America's ultimate strategic weapon. Invisible to radar, capable of flying 6,000 miles without refueling, and armed with 30,000-pound massive ordnance penetrator bombs, these aircraft can destroy targets that no other weapon system can reach. Iran's Fordow nuclear facility, buried deep in a mountain, can only be penetrated by MOP bombs delivered by B-2 stealth bombers. 6 B-2s deployed to Diego Garcia within a week, according to satellite imagery analyzed by defense experts. This positioning placed Iran's most protected nuclear facilities within direct striking distance. Former Air Force General David Deptula noted, "The B-2 deployment changes the entire strategic equation. Suddenly, no Iranian target is safe, no matter how deep underground." The scale of American deployment sent multiple messages simultaneously. To Iran, it demonstrated that further escalation would face overwhelming force. To allies like Israel and Gulf states, it showed America's commitment to regional stability. To adversaries like China and Russia, it proved American power projection capabilities remain unmatched. Military analysts calculated the combined firepower now positioned around Iran. 3 carrier strike groups carry approximately 270 aircraft. Each Fa-18 Super Hornet can deliver precision strikes with multiple guided bombs. Each F-35C Lightning II provides stealth penetration capabilities. Each carrier's defensive systems can engage hundreds of incoming missiles simultaneously. The refueling tanker fleet enables sustained operations thousands of miles from American bases. The B-2 bombers provide deep strike capabilities against Iran's most protected targets. The submarine presence, while classified, likely includes Ohio-class boats carrying 154 Tomahawk cruise missiles each. What makes American naval power so formidable isn't just numbers, it's technological superiority built over decades of innovation and investment. The Nimitz-class carriers, despite being older designs, have been continuously upgraded with the latest systems. Each carrier's radar can track aircraft 250 miles away. Their electronic warfare systems can jam enemy communications across multiple frequencies. Their defensive missiles can intercept supersonic anti-ship weapons. Most importantly, their aircraft can operate in contested airspace while remaining connected through advanced data links. The F-35C Lightning II fighters represent a quantum leap in capability. Their sensors can track enemy forces while remaining undetected. They can share targeting data instantly with other aircraft. They can engage targets beyond visual range with precision that was impossible just a decade ago. Iran's military, despite significant investments, operates equipment that's generations behind American technology. Their most advanced fighters are modified F-14 Tomcats from the 1970s. Their air defense systems, while numerous, struggle against stealth aircraft and electronic jamming. Their missiles, though intimidating in number, lack the precision guidance systems of American weapons. Beyond military capability, America's response included economic warfare that hit Iran immediately. The threat of expanded sanctions caused Iran's currency to plummet 15% in 3 days. Oil prices spiked globally as markets feared disruption to Persian Gulf shipping. Iran's economy, already struggling under existing sanctions, couldn't sustain prolonged conflict with the United States. Military operations consume enormous resources: fuel, ammunition, replacement parts, and personnel costs. America's ability to maintain 3 carrier battle groups indefinitely demonstrated economic staying power that Iran simply couldn't match. The psychological impact on Iranian leadership was evident in their communications. Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi's statements became increasingly defensive. Military commanders stopped appearing in public. Most tellingly, Iran began reaching out to Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and Oman for mediation, a clear sign they wanted de-escalation. The June 2025 crisis demonstrated why America remains the world's sole military superpower. No other nation can deploy 3 carrier battle groups simultaneously while maintaining global commitments elsewhere. No other military can coordinate air, sea, and space assets across multiple theaters seamlessly. American logistics capabilities proved decisive. Moving 30 tanker aircraft across the Atlantic in one night required coordination between multiple commands. Supplying 3 carrier battle groups with fuel, food, ammunition, and spare parts demands a supply chain that spans the globe. Only America possesses this capability. The intelligence advantage was equally important. American satellites provided real-time tracking of Iranian forces. Cyber capabilities disrupted Iranian communications. Human intelligence networks built over decades provided targeting information that proved decisive in Israeli strikes. As military pressure mounted, diplomatic efforts intensified. President Trump's direct communications with Iranian leadership combined threats with offers of negotiation. The message was clear: Iran could choose diplomacy or face overwhelming force. Iran's decision to seek ceasefire mediation through Qatar revealed their recognition of military reality. Facing 3 American carrier battle groups, B-2 stealth bombers, and sustained Israeli pressure, Iranian leaders chose survival over pride. The ceasefire agreement on June 24th didn't represent Iranian victory. It demonstrated American strength. By offering Iran a face-saving exit, America achieved strategic objectives without the costs of prolonged warfare. Iran's nuclear program was severely damaged. Their military leadership was decimated. Their regional influence was weakened. Even after the ceasefire, American forces remained positioned around Iran. The message was unmistakable. Any violation of the agreement would face immediate consequences. The carriers continued their patrols. The B-2 bombers remained at Diego Garcia. The tanker fleet stayed in Europe. This continuing presence serves multiple purposes. It reassures allies that America stands behind its commitments. It deters Iran from rebuilding capabilities too quickly. It demonstrates to other potential adversaries that American power projection remains credible and overwhelming. Naval experts note that maintaining 3 carrier battle groups in the Middle East represents a significant commitment. Each carrier requires a crew of 5,000 sailors. Each battle group consumes enormous quantities of fuel and supplies. The cost exceeds $100 million per week for each group. Yet America's willingness to bear these costs sends a powerful message about priorities and capabilities. Other nations struggle to maintain a single carrier. America deployed 3 while keeping others available for Pacific operations. The June 2025 crisis reshaped Middle Eastern dynamics permanently. Iran's nuclear ambitions suffered a devastating setback. Their conventional military capabilities were severely damaged. Their regional proxy network was exposed as unable to defend their patron. American military technological advantages were displayed for the world to see. Potential adversaries now understand that challenging American interests triggers responses they cannot match. Allies witnessed American commitment backed by overwhelming capability. The deployment of Nimitz-class carriers in this tactical blitz accomplished strategic objectives that will influence regional stability for years to come. Iran learned that nuclear weapons development carries unacceptable risks. Israel gained confidence in American support. Gulf allies saw American power projection at its finest. Most importantly, the world witnessed American military excellence in action. Professional sailors, aviators, and support personnel executed complex operations flawlessly under pressure. The United States Navy, the United States Air Force, and American intelligence services demonstrated why they remain the gold standard for military effectiveness. The men and women who crew these magnificent ships and aircraft deserve our deepest respect and gratitude. Their skill, dedication, and professionalism protect American interests and promote global stability. They represent the finest traditions of American military service. As we've seen throughout this crisis, American military power remains unmatched because of the exceptional people who serve. From carrier deck crews working in dangerous conditions to pilots flying complex missions thousands of miles from home, their excellence makes American strength possible. If this demonstration of American military excellence impressed you as much as it did military experts worldwide, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more coverage of American defense capabilities. The story of American power projection continues to evolve, and we'll be here to bring you the latest developments with the same detailed analysis you've come to expect. America's carriers sail on, America's airmen stand ready, and America's commitment to global stability remains unwavering. That's the real message Iran received during this tactical blitz, one they won't soon forget.